Hi guys, I'm excited to be back here for another, I guess in the back to school season, back for more Facebook Lives, back to be giving more information that you guys can use to make your PTOs like superstar status, right? So I am Christina of PTO Answers, and I'm your host of the PTO Superstar Leader Facebook group. And like I said, I'm really excited to be back, being able to do these live streams. My kids are back in school now, so it's safe to kind of do this. I don't really have much risk of interruption, other than maybe our dog Pepper. So apologies if he barks at the mailman. Our old mailman used to give him treats, and so he thinks he's getting treats every time the mail comes, and the new mail guy hasn't caught on that he just needs to like give treats to the dog. So, sorry in advance for that. Oh, and here I go. I'm trying to get my tech set up here. Let's see. Okay, so if this is the first time that you're joining me live, and I know for many of you it will be because the group has just exploded in size over the summer. Let's see. There we go. Oh wait, sweet left. Sorry, still figuring out this technology. Anyway, if you're new here, why don't you go ahead and type new in so that I know that you're new and I can greet you and it'll be all good. Because like I said, the group, I think since June, the group has doubled in size. We now have over 1,500 superstars in the group, which is like really awesome. So let me see. Okay, just wanted to double check that you could hear me. So technology challenged with some of this stuff. So anyway, okay, today we are going to be talking about how to get parents involved. I know in your PTO, maybe it could be just coming to events, maybe it could be coming to meetings, maybe it's just like responding to stinking emails that you send out, right? These all problems. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. And I have a couple questions I'm going to answer at the end of this stream. And so I see a couple people have popped on, so maybe I just want to ask them, like, how confident are you in your ability to attract parents to your group? From like, let's say 1 to 10, where 1 is like, you think you are a rock star and you totally have it covered, and 10 is, you totally need some help. Like, so if you could just type in 1 to 10, that would be awesome. So I know what I want to kind of tailor this so I can best meet you where you're at, rather than just talking about something and it totally not being what you need. Okay, and I see you guys are shy to do that, so I'm just going to dive on in. So I know back when I was PTA president, and I guess I should give a little more of an introduction. So I'm Christina, host of this group, as you know, and thank you for being here. Way awesome. I started this group because I felt like there was just a need for more support and guidance for PTO leaders. I think that being a PTO leader is one of the hardest jobs out there, and of course there's air quotes because we don't get paid. We might get paid in hugs and some thank yous, but that's not going to be keeping on it's not paying grocery bills for anybody, right? So we really have to look for other reasons to be to get paid. But yeah, like when I first got involved as a PTO volunteer, it was right when my kids joined school, because I was looking to, quite honestly, to find some friends. A lot of my friends in the area had moved away. I live in the Cleveland area, and we have a fantastic medical system. And so that's great, but like people come for school, so they come for internships or fellowships, and then they like leave. So I have friends all over the country, but like not a lot here, which is made me sad. So I got involved as a volunteer, and then so that first year I went to maybe 3 maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5. See how the numbers go up. I think I went to the majority of the PTA meetings. Well, by the April meeting, guess who was president the next year? Me. And I was a brand new kindergarten parent. I had no idea what I was doing. I was in a sorority in college, so I kind of knew how to run meetings, and my formal training was as an attorney, right? So I knew how to speak in front of people, but like the ins and outs of parent groups, like a PTA, I had no stinking idea. And so, you know, I've been a volunteer now for more than 8 years. I think this is my 8th year, and I'm involved in 2 PTOs now, or PTAs, because I have 2 kids at 2 separate schools. So, you know, that's what it is. So one of the biggest things that my PTAs have struggled with, especially as the kids get older, is parent involvement. And so that's kind of why I wanted to talk about that today, because I thought it would hit a lot of people where they are, especially at the beginning of the year. You could use some great tips. So with all that being said, let's just jump right on in. So my number 1 tip, and listen, this is it. Number 1 tip for getting parents involved is to make things fun. That's right, nothing too complicated. I know you can do it. So how do you make things fun? First of all, you cut those boring meetings that you're having, cut them down to like an hour. They should be no more than an hour, because you're going to absolutely be like boring people to death. Almost all parents right now are working, whether they're working in their home or outside of their home. They're already working. They don't need a second, you know, job with boring meetings to go to. So you need to make everything in PTO related fun. How do you make that fun, Christina? And that sounds easier than said and done. 1, you cut out the drama. Like all that mean girl junk, you just need to get rid of. And I know you are not guilty of this, because you, my friend, are a superstar. And so you would never engage in that kind of disruptive and destructive and horrible behavior. But other peeps who are not as evolved on the scale of maturity, let's say, it happens, because it happens in my groups too, where people just, they get intimidated or they just lack self-confidence, and so they resort to being a mean girl. So yeah, so as much as you can, cut that out. Encourage other people to cut it out, and I'm not saying like call them out on it, because that would be disastrous, but like maybe pull them aside, or maybe just, you know, and say something, or make comments that we're all in this together, like teamwork. Maybe start your meeting out with an inspirational quote about teamwork. That would be really good. The other thing, and I forgot to mention this earlier, I actually have a list of 9, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed because there are 9 different tools, but there are 9 free tools that you need to be grabbing. So you can grab that worksheet, and I'd suggest to do it right when we're done with this so that you don't forget to do it. You can grab it at bit.ly, so bit.ly/PTO, and that's all capitalized, tools. Because I just learned that bit.ly is capital, it's case sensitive rather. So sorry for that. Future bit.lys will all be lowercase, but my bad. I just learned that. So go there. Again, it's bit.ly/PTO tools. And then you'll get a list of the 9, what I think are essential tools that every PTA, PTO needs to be signing up for and using, because they're free and they work. They're the exact tools that I've used to run my PTAs. So get them. You will not be sorry. All right. So back to making it fun. I've done a blog post about this recently. Well, not recently. I guess it was a couple months ago. I took the summer off from blogging, y'all. I had other stuff. My day job really exploded, I gotta say. So I've been busy with that. But have you ever seen the first follower video on YouTube? If you go to YouTube and Google, it's like an adjective or a verb now. If you go and type in the search bar, first follower, you'll see the video I'm talking about. And it's, and I feature it in one of my blog posts too about parent involvement and how to get people involved. But the gist of the video goes like this. There's a guy, there's this like music festival, and there's a whole lot of people on this hill, and there's like an open grassy area in the middle of the hill, and again, it's a big incline. And this dude just like goes to the middle of the hill and just starts like rocking out, and he's dancing, and he's doing it all by himself. But it's pretty clear from the get-go that the man is having fun. And it doesn't take much more time before other people join him because they're having more fun. And then after the first couple followers go, then a whole bunch of followers join him. And I'm telling you this because it all relates back to my number one tip in make everything you do in PTO fun. If it's not fun, people are not going to come. They're just not going to because parents are busy. They have a lot on their schedule. So you need to make it fun for them. So I want you to go watch that video. No, I'm giving you lots of homework today, but think about that video and you'll see what I mean. All right, so I talked about cutting out drama. I talked about cutting meeting lengths because nobody wants to go to a meeting over an hour. And if you can't discuss it in an hour, then you probably need a different meeting to talk about whatever is taking so long to talk about. Like have a whole separate meeting for just those people who are concerned with that issue. And finally, you need to give enough notice about things. Because remember how I said people are busy? Yeah, people are really busy. They don't want to not be involved. It's not that they don't care. It's that they're getting pulled in a gajillion different ways. And so that as PTO leaders, we really have to be sensitive to that fact. So you are going to have to do things that you don't think you should really have to do. But if you want parents to be involved, if you want them to be engaged in the PTO, you're going to have to do it. So part of that giving people enough notice is that you're going to have to communicate that things are fun. So how do you communicate it? Well, you need to knock out, and this is an issue for you, and it's been an issue for my group in the past where someone has issued a less than enthralling email about something, and it's, in this one particular case, in the PTA that I just left, oops, sorry, bad camera skills again, not because I wanted to, but because my kid aged out. The communications chair had a habit of sending emails that you had to scroll for about 5 minutes to get through everything. And I'm like, yo, nobody's got time for that. I barely have time to read emails that I don't have to scroll at all, but I'm not scrolling to the bottom. So like, you need to communicate clearly, you need to communicate often, and you need to meet people where they are. So it could be that you need to set up a Facebook page. I highly recommend a page over a group because it's just, you want less hoops for parents to jump through because you want to make it really easy for people to be involved. And if there's hoops, if there's, steps to, in order to be able to get that information, then chances are they're not going to do it, which totally defeats the purpose, right? Because you want them to know what's going on. Because if they don't know what's going on, they can't be involved. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, and so you're going to have to give notice, because remember how peeps are busy? Yeah, so like at least 3 weeks notice on things. And I know that seems like a lot for you organized people, but for unorganized people, you can't possibly give them enough notice, so you might as well start with like at least 3 weeks. So those were that was my overall big theme of the day, is to make it fun and then communicate clearly. And I wrote some things out because sometimes I have shiny object syndrome. So let me just make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, so make it fun, cut the drama, cut meeting lengths, and give enough notice, and have like clear communications. So there were a couple questions that people posted in the Facebook group last night. So I promised I would answer them. So I'm gonna make good on my promise. So Karen wrote, "What's the best way to remind parents of upcoming events? We've had a few prior to our first official PTO meeting, and we've struggled on when to reach out, how to reach out, and how often to remind. We don't have access to the full school email to blast, so we are trying to get a PTO listserv of emails to send updates, but it's been painstakingly slow. We've posted on the school family Facebook site, but that seems to be overlooked by many. Okay, that is a big question, Karen. And Karen and I don't know each other that well, but we've been chatting for many months now. So she will appreciate when I say that is a chunk of a question. But so I don't think we're going to have time for all of that today, but I will get into part of it. I think the best way to remind parents of upcoming events is through their kids. I think the most effective way that I found is when kids are excited about their parents being involved, the parents tend to be involved in PTO stuff. So if you can't get access to the email list from the school, which I highly recommend you go and talk to the superintendent or the principal, because y'all are on the same team. It's not like you're going to be sending out emails trying to get people to buy, Pampered Chef stuff or something. Like, you're going to be using it for PTO business, and PTO business is to make the school a better place and the kids happier and the teachers happier. So I would have that conversation with your principal, and if they're saying, oh, it's a district policy, then make an appointment with the superintendent, Karen. Really, that's what I highly recommend, because that is kind of nonsense in my opinion. I've had to deal with it in my district, and that's pretty much what I told people. And guess what? We got the emails, so it's all good. But if you can't do that, then really, do announcements at the beginning of the day, and maybe not you physically do them, but ask if the whoever does announcements, the office administrator, whoever, give them a cleverly written out little announcement that the kids will understand and that the kids can communicate to their parent to try and get them to come. Okay, and then the rest of that is that would take me a lot longer. We'd have to have like a one-on-one, Karen, to explain that. Or I have another solution actually that I'll tell you about in a second. And then Stephanie also wrote, we had our first PTA meeting this week and very few people paid their dues, maybe just like 25% who paid last year. Is it tacky to send them an email reminding people that dues are annual? How do you get people to attend? Maybe how do you get people that attend the meeting to become a member too? Okay, so the first part of that, heck no, it is not tacky. My mantra in life is, and the answer to an unasked question is always no. So in this case, I don't think people are intentionally not paying. I think they probably forgot because they're busy. So I think it is totally in your best interest and also their best interest, because if they've paid in the past, they probably want to be a member going forward too. So Stephanie, don't reach out to email them and be like, again, make it fun though. Don't be like, I want your money. Be like, hey, guess what? It's, a brand new year. It is time to go ahead and pay your membership dues. I mean, don't be afraid to ask for money. You're not asking for $5,000. How much your PTA, so your dues are probably pretty reasonable, right? So just say, I need your $5. Nothing wrong with that. And then the second part of the question, how do you get people to attend meetings to become a member too? Well, you tell them the only way they can vote and really effectuate change within the group is to become a member. And I don't know that I've ever really experienced this. You could just do like the peer pressure thing where everybody you distribute at the meeting, you distribute a membership form, and then the president, and if I remember correctly, you are president, right? And then you're not here to answer because you asked the question in advance. But have the president, if it's not you, stand and be like, hey, membership drive time, or have your membership chair do that, and but president if you don't, and then also have the treasurer report on, this is how much has been collected so far, or this is how much we collected last year in memberships. So this year we're looking to meet or exceed that. But I think those are like kind of low-key ways that you're not going to offend anybody by asking them for your $5. You're not. So So I hope all of this has been like super valuable for you, and that it gets you thinking about out of the mindset of, oh, no one comes. And I don't understand why people don't come to things, because we plan all these great things, and I'm spending all this great, all of this time away from my family, planning these events, putting on the events, coming up with the ideas, all of that jazz, and then people don't come. I can totally get how that can be like really defeating, but I think you just need to flip your perspective to that this is fun, they want to come, and you need to convince them to come. So that would be my last suggestion. And then finally, as far as a tool to use, I kind of designed something, because this was an issue that came up again and again. Excuse me, I'm moving my computer out of the way. With people, and they wanted to know, okay, so you just told me that I need to communicate to parents, but like, what do I say? Like, how exactly? Tell me, Christina, because I don't have time. I don't have time to figure it out. Like, just serve it up to me. And so I was like, oh, awesome, I can totally do that. So that's exactly what I did. And so I launched this a couple, maybe about a month ago. It's called the Ultimate Parent Engagement Kit. And it looks a little like this. Well, this is the cover page. And inside the kit, you will find 5 different events to ignite parent engagement. And these, honest to goodness, they do work, because I used them either when I was president or when I was in charge of family fun events. And so they for reals work, because I've used them. They've all been good. And there are also 9 different ways to get more volunteers that we haven't talked about today. Have you ever heard of the Eat This, Not That? I did a little riff on that with a Do This, Not That. There's a parent engagement checklist that goes down like exactly what you need to be doing, so that you don't have to worry about forgetting something, because a lot of this stuff it's not hard, it's just a lot. You're busy as volunteers, you're like working, or you have kids at home, or you just have like a lot going on. I don't blame you at all, and this is just another tool to kind of get you across that finish line with more engaged parents. Then you might be able to get there yourself, but it's going to take a lot longer, and it's probably going to hurt a little bit. And so this is to take like the sting out of this very problematic area of PTO life, and it just a reality, out of the way. There's also what to include in a new family welcome packet. It's something that my PTA took a while to like get on board with. And then also the most exciting thing, remember how I said I've written everything out? There's 9 essential flyers and form templates that are already done for you. So like a membership form template, you just simply customize it and like print. Why you should join flyer, 5 great reasons to be part of the PTO, a back to school parent letter, so you can start the year off great. And it doesn't even have to be right at the beginning. Like I think anytime within the first month of school is a great time to send back to school stuff, because parents, especially new parents, they're just inundated with information and forms to fill out. So if you just wait just a little bit and get on the backside of that tidal wave of forms, then I think you'll find success there. But there's 9 different flyers and form templates, and I've made them all in Google Sheets. You can just download them and change anything to your heart's content, but the tried and true language is there. So how do you get this? You visit bit.ly, again, bit.ly/parent tools, or parent kit. I'm sorry, parent kit. That's what it is. So go ahead and check that out and see if that'll help make your quest to really increase involvement and engagement in your group easier, because I totally know it will. That's why I created it, and that's why I've had other PTO leaders look at it and they were like, this is awesome. So I highly encourage you to go and check that out. So I will drop all of the links to everything I said, the 9 free tools, as well as the Ultimate Parent Engagement Kit, in the comments when I hit finish. in just a couple seconds. And then join me here next week. I'm going to try and make this every Wednesday. If I don't have clients during the day, then I will totally be here talking right at you about some other relevant topic to make your life as a PTO leader so much easier. So thanks for tuning in and have a good week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.